Welcome back to The Explainer. So today we're talking about the absolutely insane amount of money being poured into AI. Seriously, the numbers are so big, they kind of break your brain. It feels like we're in the middle of a brand new gold rush.
All right, let's just put this number on the screen. $455 billion. I mean, that is almost $500 billion. That's not just a big number. That's like a small country's entire economic output. So what on earth is this number in the world of AI?
Okay, and here's where it gets really wild. That number, it's not the total value of the entire AI market. Nope. It's not some crazy future profit projection either. It is the signed on the dotted line contract backlog for just one single company. Yeah, Oracle.
So what does a number like that even mean? Well, it means we are smack dab in the middle of a modern-day gold rush. You've got companies racing to find the gold, the next big AI model, but then you've got other companies making an absolute fortune selling the picks and shovels. Let's really dig into what that looks like.
Okay, first things first. Before you can have this big AI revolution, you've got to build the foundation, right? The actual infrastructure. And we all know GPUs are hard to come by. So what's happening is companies are locking in their spending for years into the future just to make sure they have the raw horsepower they need.
And this number? 359%. That's Oracle's year-over-year jump in, well, they call it remaining performance obligations, which is just a fancy way of saying their contract backlog. It's a huge leap, and it's pretty much all because companies are desperate to lock in their future AI compute.
And get this spike in demand, it totally blindsided the experts on Wall Street. I'm talking about the financial analysts whose entire job is to follow this company. They were, and I'm quoting here, blown away by the forecast, just completely stunned.
Yeah. Another analyst said, "We're all kind of in shock and that there's no better evidence of a seismic shift happening in computing." So let's be super clear here. This isn't hype. It's not some fluffy press release. These are real signed contracts. This is a fundamental shift in how the biggest companies on the planet are planning to spend their money for a long, long time.
And just look at this table. It really shows you the scale of this long-term bet. Based on these deals, Oracle is thinking its cloud revenue is going to 8x by 2030. They're going from $18 billion this year to a whopping $144 billion. And again, this isn't just wishful thinking. It's a forecast built on actual signed deals.
But wait, it's not just Oracle. Look at this. Google Cloud, they're sitting on a backlog of $106 billion themselves. So this isn't just one company hitting a home run. This is the entire sector just exploding. It's a massive boom in demand for the basic building blocks of AI.
Okay, so you have this massive foundation being laid, but what are companies actually building on it? Let's take a look at an old-school industrial giant, Volkswagen, and see how they're using all this new power to basically rewire their entire company. And this is not some small-time experiment, a little pilot project in a corner office. This is a declaration from the top, from the board of management. Their ambition? No process without AI. They want to bake it into literally everything they do.
And they're putting their money where their mouth is. We're talking $1.2 billion invested by the end of the decade just to make this happen. And that's on top of the, 12,200 AI apps they're already using. I mean, they are absolutely all in.
So what's the payoff? Well, it's pretty incredible. They think they can use AI-powered engineering to slash a full year off the time it takes to develop a new car. From 3 years down to 2. In the car business, that is a huge competitive advantage, just massive.
All right, so we've got the infrastructure, the foundation. We've got the huge industrial companies rebuilding themselves. So what's next? Let's talk about the race to get this power into our hands through the apps and the gadgets we use every single day.
And this is where it gets really interesting, because you see two giants with two totally different game plans. You've got Apple playing the long game, the subtle play. They're building AI right into their silicon, into the hardware itself. Think neural engines on their chips or real-time translation on AirPods. Then you have Meta, who's just spending. They're throwing cash around, like signing a $105 million plus deal with a startup just to license their image generation tech. It's a classic fight. Apple's slow, careful ecosystem build versus Meta's move fast and spend money approach.
Okay, but here's the twist. You have all this money, all this top-down planning, all this incredible technology flooding the market, but then there's us, the user. And what happens when that grand multi-billion-dollar roadmap smacks right into what people actually want? Well, this quote is a perfect example.
OpenAI tried to get rid of an older but really popular voice in ChatGPT, and people were not having it. They pushed back hard. It's pretty much a repeat of what happened when they had to bring back the GPT 4.0 model because users rebelled. It's like the company is slowly learning that new doesn't automatically mean better for everyone.
And the feedback was super clear. People who use these things every day, they get attached. They said the old voice felt special. They called the new one lazier, less smart, even a downgrade. See, you build a workflow, maybe even a weird kind of relationship with these models, and when a company just forces a change, it can really backfire. In the end, what people wanted was simple. Just give us the choice.
So this really leaves us with the big question, doesn't it? As all these billions are being spent, as these grand corporate roadmaps are being drawn up, what matters more, the plan or the person using the product? The big takeaway here is that while all these companies are busy building the future of AI, the ultimate winner might just be the one who does something really simple and really human, actually listen.